Good morning viewers, welcome to Udayanath Autonomous College of Science and Technology. So today's class is all about the structure of a C programming language. That means while writing a C program, what is the syntax or what is the structure for writing the program in a C software. So today's class we will be discussing about the structure of C programming language. So moving to the slide, we will be discussing about the C program structure. That is, the first term that comes is your keyword. So keyword are some reserved words which has a special meaning for a particular programming language. So keywords cannot be used as variable names. In C there are 32 keywords. For example, character, integer, if and for. So what do you mean by keywords? So any reserved words that is used for a special purpose in C programming language are called as your keywords. So what do you mean by the reserved words? That means the commands which we will be using in C programming languages to instruct the computer to work accordingly are called as the keywords. So while writing or while naming a variable, we have already discussed the rules. So keywords cannot be used as variable names in C programming language. So by default C programming languages has 32 keywords. That, for example, let us say int, if, for, while. So these are some of the reserved words or keywords which we will be using while writing a C programming language. So moving to the next topic, that is your program. So program is of two types, that is your source program and object program. So what do you mean by source program? The program which is written by the user by using the vocabulary of any programming language is called as the source program. The C source program has the extension .c. So what do you mean by source program? Suppose I am writing a program using C programming language. So the program which the user is writing using the vocabulary of C programming language is called the source program. The program which is written by the user is simply known as the C source program. The next category of program is your object program. The compiled version of source program is known as the object program. So when a C source program is compiled, it generates two files that has the extension of .obj and .exe. So what do you mean by object program? So whenever I will write a program in C or in Java or in any programming language, that will be called as source programming language. But when I will compile the program and get the result or the output result is called the object program or executable program. That means suppose let us say you are using a smartphone, you are using different apps. So whatever you are doing, actually you are working on the object or the executable part of the program. That means whenever you are clicking on camera, the camera opens up. So the code for opening the camera or for activating the camera is the source program, but actually we are working on the executable file or we are working on the object file. Suppose for let us say you are playing a game. So actually you are playing game because you are working on the object or the executable file of the program which is running at the backside. So whatever we are doing in software, actually in each step a program is being executed and we are working on the executable side of the program. So the program is divided into two categories, that is a source program and object program. The program which is written using the vocabulary of any programming language is called the source program, and when the source program is being compiled, so it generates an object code or executable code which has the extension as .obj or .exe. So these are all about your keywords and programs. Next we will be discussing how the C program has a programming structure. You can clearly see a program is being written, a C program is being written over here, but now we will coincide the program with the rules which are written to write a or to define the structure of a C programming language. So the first point is a C program is made up of n number of functions, minimum 1. So what do you mean by functions? Here there is a main function and another one is your add function. So a function starts with a curly bracket and ends with a curly bracket. So this program has two functions, that is a main function and another one is your add function. So a program has, a C program can have any number of functions. So here there are two functions in a single program. So we can add any number of functions according to the user requirement in a C programming language. So next point is, there should be one function with the name main function. That means you can clearly see here one function is written over here, that is your main function. This is actually the main part of the program. That is, without main function a C program cannot be executed. So the next rule of writing or defining the structure of a C program is that there should be one function with the name main function. Moving to the next part or the next rule, all keywords and system defined functions must be written in lowercase. So what do you mean by lowercase? Lowercase means in small letters. Here you can see all the keywords, main, int, include, stdio.h, add, int, these are all actually the keywords which are actually written in small letters. You can clearly see there are no capital letters in the program, or the keywords are written on lowercase, that is on small letters, main, int, include, stdio.h, here also int, all these are in lower cases. Next rule is that each statement should end with a semicolon. You can clearly see what is a statement over here. A statement is a single line in a program. So here I have written int x comma y, then I have given semicolon. So every statement must end with a semicolon. You can clearly see another statement over here, x equal to 4. So here this statement is also ending with a semicolon. Y equal to 5, this statement is also ending with a semicolon. So every statement in a C programming language must end with a semicolon. Next rule is that multiple statements can be written in a single line. That means here we have written the statements in different line, but it is possible to write multiple statements in a single line. That means we can write these 4 statements in a single line and making it a single statement. This thing is also possible in C programming language. Next rule is that a block of statements for a particular function should be enclosed within a pair of curly brackets. You can clearly see this is the function, that is a main function. So all the contents of the main function should be enclosed within 2 curly brackets. So here we have an open curly bracket and an end curly bracket. So every content or any content of a function should be enclosed within the curly bracket. Here another function is written, that is your add function, and the content of the add function is also enclosed within a curly bracket. So every function that we will be defining must be enclosed within the curly brackets. So next one is that the variable declaration should be before the program definition. So this is actually a vital part. So variable declaration means here you can clearly see we have declared 2 variables, that is x and y. So here I am using x and y as 2 variables, that is x equal to 4 and y equal to 5. So x and y are 2 variables. So here we are using 2 variables x and y. So before using any variable we must declare it, or we must declare the variables by using the data type. We must specify the type of data which the variable will be containing in the program. So without declaring a variable we cannot use the variable within a program. So here there are 2 variables which we are using in a C programming language, and before using these 2 variables we are actually declaring it. So these are the structures of a C programming language. So just rewinding all the structures or all the rules of a C programming language. So a C program is made up of n number of functions, minimum 1. That means a C program can contain a number of functions, but it must contain a minimum function, that is the main function. There should be one function with the main function. We have already discussed that the main function is the vital part of a program because the program execution starts from the main function. Similarly, the next rule or the structure is that all keywords and system defined functions must be in lowercase. That means all the keywords or any functions which we will be using in the program must be in small letters or lowercase. Each statement should end with a semicolon. You can clearly see every statement is ending with a semicolon. That means a semicolon is a remark that the statement has ended. Next, multiple statements can be written in a single line. Here we have 4 statements in the main function, but we can accommodate all the 4 statements in a single line also. Similarly, a block of statements for a particular function should be enclosed within a pair of curly bracket. You can clearly see we have 2 functions in this program, that is main function and add function, and main function, all the contents of main function and the contents of add function are enclosed within the curly brackets. The last one is that variable declaration should be before the program definition. That means x and y are 2 variables which we are using in a program, and before using the variables we must declare the variables with their proper data types, so that we can use the variables accordingly. So these are the structures of a C programming language. Next we will be discussing about the header file. So what do you mean by header file? So header file is a special file with the extension .h. In C, a particular group of functions are stored in a particular header file. If we want to use any function, then we have to specify its header file with the preprocessor hash. So the examples of header file are stdio.h, conio.h, math.h and string.h. So I will be collaborating the header file, or I will be discussing the header file using this program. You can clearly see there is written that stdio.h. So this is the header file. So what do you mean by header file? So actually header file contains a number of predefined functions which we will be using in the C programming language. So whatever functions we will be using in the program, so before using those functions we must open the header file. So without opening a header file we cannot use the functions related to that header file. So whenever we will start a program, we will be writing hash include then header file. That means the header file will be opened and we will be able to access all the functions related to the header file. So here stdio.h is the header file which contains all the predefined functions that will be included in the header file. So we can also include a number of header files also. That means suppose I want to use some mathematical calculations in my program, then here I can write hash include math.h, because math.h is the header file which contains a number of functions or which we will be using for mathematical calculations. Similarly, we have another header file, that is suppose string.h, and if we are writing a program for any string operations, then we can also include, that is hash include string.h. So whatever header file we will be using, so the header file must have all the functions that will be used while writing the program. Next concept is your preprocessor. So preprocessor is a program that processes C source program before it is transferred for compilation. So what do you mean by preprocessor? So preprocessor is actually, it is a program which is used for opening the header file. That means we are writing hash include stdio.h. So hash is a preprocessor. So preprocessor is used for opening or executing the header file. Moving to the program part, we can see that we have written here hash include stdio.h. So what do you mean by hash? Hash is a preprocessor. So what is the work of preprocessor? The work of preprocessor is to open the header file so that a user can use all the functions related to this header file. So what do you mean by include? So actually include is a directory or the folder in which the program is stored by default. So hash is a preprocessor, include is directory, and stdio.h is a header file. So anything which contains .h means it is a header file. So preprocessor work is to open the header file, and whatever program we will write, it will be stored in the directory include. So these are all about the header file and preprocessor. You can clearly see the example over here. hash include stdio.h, hash include math.h and string.h. So whatever header file we will be writing, the preprocessor will open the header file so that the user will be able to use all the functions related to the header file in the program. Moving to the next topic, that is stdio.h. So it is the most frequently used header file that contains all standard input output function like printf function, scanf function, etc. It is generally written at the beginning of a C program file with the help of hash include. So actually what do you mean by stdio.h? So stdio.h stands for standard input output operations. That means when I will be writing a program, I need to get input from the user or I need to give output to the user. So all the input and output operations are written in the stdio.h header file. So whatever input and output operations we will be doing in the program, so it must be enclosed within the header file, that is stdio.h. So before using these functions, we must call for stdio.h so that all the functions related or comes under stdio.h must be used or can be used by the user while writing the program. Next is your main function. So every C source program must have a special function known as main function. The execution begins at the main function. The main function can be located anywhere in the program, but it is better to keep it at the beginning of the program. So you can clearly see a program over here, there is a main function over here. That means every C program must have a main function, because every program starts compiling from the main function. If it will not find the main function in the program, then the program will not be executed. So main program can be located anywhere in the program. You can clearly see that main function is written at the beginning of the program, but suppose I want to keep the main function after add function, this is also possible, but when the program will be executed, it will search for the main function first, and where it will find the main function, from that point it will start executing the program or compiling the program. So main function is the vital part of a C programming language, because the whole program starts from the main function. It will search for the main function first and it will start executing the program right from the main function. So these are all about today's class, that is the structure of a C programming language, how the C programming structure has been developed, what are the rules for writing the C programming language, each and everything we have discussed in this chapter. Thank you.